Welcome to the Reddit stories. r/Askreddit. What do most women not know about men? Seen a few posts on here about some men being starved of affection, myself included. My grandma once told me to share the love you wish to receive. So, I hug all my friends very often, male and female. Tell them all I love you religiously. May just seem like a small gesture, but you never know what someone is going through. That one hug, those 3 words could change their entire day. I've been told by a few of them that I give the best hugs. Even had one of my friends seek me out, randomly stopped by the bar, just because they were having a rough day and needed my hug. I too had a rough day myself, and it lifted my spirits as well. You get what you give, my friends. Stay positive, things will get better. My GF once said about a picture of me something like that. When you used to be pudgy lol. It stung. I have weight issues, underweight, due to a medical condition that she knew about. At the time the picture was taken, I had been working hard to go to the gym regularly and put some lean muscle on, and I was finally able to get to and stay at a healthy weight. I've since lost a lot of that muscle and weight again, about 20 pounds lighter. I asked her later, do you understand why that upset me? And she genuinely did not understand. I said, how would you feel if I ever pointed at a picture of you and called you pudgy? It was like all at once she realized that men can have body image issues too. We have a great relationship and she immediately apologized, but I think she honestly just thought that men don't have those issues and that I would just see it as a joke, which is how she meant it. Oh, I got one. My wedding day. When I got married to my wife, everyone directed to her saying how beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, etc. she was the entire night from our guests. Only 3 out of 200 people complimented me on how I looked. My mother, my wife's mother, my godmother. You know, sometimes we like to hear how good we look, especially on our wedding day. We, as men, imagine our wedding day just as much as the women do. It would be nice to get same sort of treatment. Most guys are completely starved for affection. Edit. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting this post to explode like it has. I'm having troubles responding to everyone, and I've been repeating myself a lot. So to clarify a few things, I'm doing alright, please don't worry. I only mentioned this because it's something that I've noticed for me as well as my single guy friends. If anything, I'm probably doing better than most of them are. I agree with the idea that men should be more affectionate with one another. I think it's stupid that if you try to be, you're seen as weak. Insulting and misogyny are both bullshit attitudes that have no place in our world. I got about 20 or so women are quite aware comments. I'm not really sure how to respond to those, but I'll take a shot anyway. I'm going under the assumption that these comments are coming from people who are frustrated with insulting/misogyny. That is super common online. I apologize if I came off that way. That wasn't what I meant at all. But I've encountered plenty of women who are genuinely surprised when this subject comes up. I think loneliness and isolation is a very common problem amongst everyone, not just men. Especially in today's digital age. We are all more connected than ever before, but we are all more lonely than ever before. It's quite a bizarre phenomenon. When we are thinking about nothing, it is usually some weird train of thought that started with a movie quote, made its way to an old joke we laughed at a year ago, transitioned to food cravings, and then shifted to that thing at work we forgot to do. We just don't want to try and explain the bizarre path we followed to get there. Edit. To clarify, I'm not saying that only men have wandering trains of thought. I'm speaking of the popular trope of women frequently asking men what they are thinking and then assuming the worst. Gonna list the most common ones. 1. We are oblivious. If you want to tell us, be direct. 2. We like to cuddle. Yes, even that guy standing with mad face and cannibal corpse hoodie that depicts 2 zombies killing newborns wants warm hug. 3. We like you the way you are. No need for tons of makeup, expensive haircuts or clothes. 4. We like things simple. 5. If you want to make us happy, just get can of our fave drink or some snack. If you dare, cook our fave meal. 6. We like to spend time with you. Even just walking through city is good enough. We go trough, what I like to call man periods. Obviously they are nothing as women's periods, except that they are cyclical. There are weeks where I'm feeling very emotional and want to be hugged and complimented, then it switches to weeks that I'm super horny and I just want sex, then there's some time in between that it could go either way in the right mood. It's not monthly either. I haven't taken the time to see the time period, but it feels like it's a 2-month cycle. I've spoken to other men and they said they see it too once I mentioned it. I'm not sure how common it is. Every time this question is asked, the same answers come by dozens. We nearly don't get attention, praise, and are not taken seriously when getting emotional. Sometimes what happens in our brains won't make things any better / worse. If it gets out of there, let it be. Even if we do get hints, if you want something to happen, your chances are astonishingly higher if you tell us directly. Each word means something clearly defined. We know it. Many women don't, since they will not believe sentences won't always, and in my opinion should rarely, have a hidden meaning. Boner equals / wanting to have sex and hit in the nuts, literally anything else. Men are commonly starved for love, affection, and general care. Unless you're rich and famous, or the top 1% of good looking men, you're generally just another human. There's never really anything even generic to uplift men on the internet. It's always uplifting moms and women for existing. Not complaining that it exists, just wish men could get some love without having to offer something in return too. Don't be so baffled men don't exude love and care when they are regularly deprived of it. I'm seeing so many comments saying that men don't get complimented, that men enjoy compliments, that you remember those 3 compliments you got throughout your life as core memories. The only way to start seeing some change with this on a societal level, and therefore more and more individuals, is for other guys to start giving guys compliments, hugs, showing affection, etc. So if you're starved for affection / attention, start generating positive affection and attention towards others. Start talking about your feelings like it's no big deal. Because the only way the world changes is by those small little acts we do each day. Seriously, be that guy. Life is hard for men too. You can't really compare the struggles men have versus those women have. It's apples to oranges. Women definitely have major struggles that men don't have to deal with very often or at all. A lesbian journalist named Nora Vincent performed a social experiment for a 1.5 years in which she disguised herself as a man and then integrated herself into traditionally male-dominant venues. In 2006, she published a book about her experiment called Self-Made Man, My Year Disguised as a Man. She said, "Men are suffering. They have different problems than women have, but they don't have it better. They need our sympathy, they need our love, and they need each other more than anything else. They need to be together. In my experience as a man having platonically and romantically hung out with women, I've noticed that women often say that they want an emotionally open man, but are really off-put or lose their attraction when a man is that open and expresses what they genuinely feel. This leads to men shutting themselves off out of fear of getting hurt again. Also, that many women who complain that men ain't shit don't realize that they ain't shit themselves. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. An inexperienced woman dates a jaded, more experienced man, gets hurt by said man who likely uses them, cheats, etc. Then an inexperienced guy comes along, is open and vulnerable, gets hurt by the now cynical woman, and now that man becomes just as bad as the first guy to prevent themselves from getting hurt by the next girl and ends up repeating the cycle with the next woman. But being cynical and turning into a ruckboy, or the female equivalent, is cowardly. Rarely people have the courage to stick to their values and treat the next person like a fellow human with empathy. Don't let anyone make you a worse person, no matter how bad they hurt you. That's a sign of weakness. Learn from bad experiences, stick to your morals, don't use or hurt people, and stay strong. Good luck out there, everyone. I'm going to take a slightly different approach to answering this frequently asked question. This is for women with sons, or who may someday have a son. In traditional households, men learn how to take care of things from their fathers, but they learn how to take care of themselves and other people from their mothers. If you meet a man who doesn't know how to cook, clean, do laundry, make a bed, fold sheets and towels, sew, iron clothes, shop, or administer first aid to children, it is likely because his mom didn't teach him, and his dad might be too toxically masculine to want his son to learn that stuff. These things are not taught in schools, and American society considers those things to be feminine. So men who are caught up in traditional gender roles don't learn these basic life skills unless the military teaches them or a woman teaches them. If you have ever dated a man who doesn't know how to do these things, it's not entirely his fault. So do your son a favor and teach him how to take care of himself. His future wife will thank you. We don't handle frustration well. Guys suffer from a feeling of impotence women don't have. Not the penis kind. The kind where you want to improve your family's lives, but don't know how. See frustration. We are built to notice movement. We literally can't help staring at other women. Let it go. Your eyes don't work the same. Stop blaming us for genetics. We know you try hard. But believe me, when I say most normal men feeling like they put in 90% of the effort into a relationship, it stems from the fact your ideas of compromise, accountability, and responsibility are vastly different from ours. We picked the restaurant, drove us there, paid the bill, got us home. I know you spent 2 days thinking about the date and 7 hours planning outfits, and 2 hours getting ready. But we don't see that as 50/50 effort. Communication gap. We will never say exactly what you want us to say, but the meaning behind what we say is stronger than you want us to seem. Unhealthy masculinity. We have to be the one who holds it together, but we are breaking on the inside. We don't want to show how stressed we are with situations, because it will scare the shit out of you. We don't want to be there and sad with you, because it will not fix you. We stand strong and bottle everything in, and it isn't good, but we have to. We can take a lot, but you will never fully know the gravity of what we hold within. When we have a moment of release and venting, a lot of times it gets turned on us as us being babies or Winnie. The past relationships have made it harder to open up to you, but we will, and when we do it is one of the most important moments of our lives that we share with you, so please listen, and don't hold it against us. We remain strong, but sometimes need a moment to vent. One thing my GF of 6 years doesn't know is I had to go for a physical for college football. This was in my junior year, won't mention which univ. Doctor was in coach's office and coach was there too. I was uncomfortable at first when I had to strip off all my clothes, but I've done it a million times before. So I was standing there bare ass naked, and he starts with my neck and throat, then worked down to my pits and then stomach. I knew what was coming, and I bit my lip, and he grabs my sack and starts to roll them around. I tried so hard to concentrate, but my dick just started to bone up. I just couldn't help it, and then he pulls my foreskin all the way back like 3 times. By then I was like fully boned up, and coach was like, damn man. He finally stopped, and it was like laying on my stomach. That's all I can say about it. The catharsis that a freshly mowed lawn or driveway cleared of snow can bring. Also, the innate drive to send it and do some dumb/reckless stuff on occasion. No logic can explain it. On a darker note, the extreme pressure to be better and be a provider. Expectations are usually much higher for males since, as James Brown once put it, this is a man's world and things have been so unequal and unfair to women for so long in society. Earn more, create and sustain a family, take on riskier jobs/careers, create a legacy for yourself, pass on the family name, leave an inheritance for your offspring, make a mark on the world. I blame early cavemen genes, but it's hard to explain. I'm definitely in a non-stereotypical situation that challenges a lot of gender roles, but it's a super hard pill to swallow sometimes. Am I enough? Is there someone else that can replace me and do a better job as a husband, father, son, etc.? If not dollar signs and numerals, how do I value the intangible contributions I provide? By being the primary parent that drops off and picks up the kids? By putting my lower wage job behind my wife's? It can definitely be deflating. Maybe that's just me, though. Reading through these comments and seeing the common thread being essentially men are collectively feeling lonely, unappreciated, unloved, etc. It illustrates the misguided but legitimate reasons why so many guys are into people like Andrew Tate. The backquote men feel invisible, but I have the solution message is incredibly tempting and gives so many guys false hope, and when they are hated for desperately trying what those people say, it only drives them further into bad states of mind and eventually behavior. We're all so sympathetic of mental illness until it's an incel who has been taught to despise women and become a sigma or whatever. Most of those guys didn't start there, and they didn't seek out that ideology. It was the only group who would take them in, or even treat them with any value. I'm glad that I have good supports in my life, which kept me away from those groups when I was weak, but I have a lot of empathy for those guys, because I know how tempting that ideology is when you feel worthless and nobody but your mom has said anything affectionate or kind to you for months or years. We didn't choose to be men. We were born this way. We embrace what we have and accept what we don't. We don't understand why women have to chop us down when we act like men. We were genetically programmed to be goofy, horny, strong, and unpredictable. It's not our fault we enjoy seeing how deep we can dig a hole at the beach. It's not our intention to be toxic when we boast about our gym sessions. It's not my fault I don't cry in front of people because I was told I shouldn't do that. I can't help that I'd rather play guitar than cuddle all night or use video games to decompress after a bad day at work. Our dreams and aspirations are different, and we are sorry you don't understand it the way we do. We're the majority of those who swear an oath to protect our country. The majority of electricians, plumbers, construction workers, diggers, miners, pipe fitters, welders, equipment operators, and so many other jobs that we take pride in, and that's not our fault either. We wish we could make money as easy as you do. We grow hair out of our faces and we choose whether or not to get rid of it solely based on if we feel lazy or if it's important, just like you doing your makeup. This is all because I'm a man and we are men. Proud men. We exist because we have to. Why is coexisting so difficult? The little blue ball we live on is too small and our time here is too short to be the way it is. I hope we can all share an understanding. Thank you.